Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this is Velga as usual. Velga is the only one here. Today I'd like to show you me sketching. Well, actually I was already sketching, and I was about like 10%, 20% there, and I thought I would bring you along for the ride. And what I did over here was, well, first of all, I made a sketch, and it's not a clean looking sketch. It's still messy. Lots of the lines are overlapping, and yeah, just lots of the lines are overlapping. It's not really cleanly made, but it's a house on a hill. You can see some foliage here and there, and over here is a tower or like a checkpoint, and they're all done in black and white. And this entire thing is done in one layer, and this one is done in one layer beside for the trees in the background, aside from the trees in the background, I mean. So they are in different levels of black. The trees in the foreground are different, just so I can like blur it later like this. See that? So it can look like it's, well, it can look like it's in the foreground because it's blurry and it's close. Like you're peeking through the trees, and the trees in the background are gray and near white, just so the lighter it looks, the further it will be. And I will show you what I did over here, but in this one sketch over here on the right. So underneath all of those lines, I'm thinking this will be like a nighttime kind of thing. Okay, let's just start. And I'm using this one brush called Happy Pastel. It's my own brush. What it does is, it's just very wispy, as you can see. I'm making downward strokes. And every time I make a stroke, it lays down a slightly different color, but not quite different that it looks too different from what I initially chose. You know what, let me rephrase that. Every time I make a stroke, I lay down a stroke, it will lay down a different color, but it won't be far from what I chose, so it will pass as the same color from afar. But if you were to zoom in, you'll notice, and if you were to look at it from afar anyway, it will kind of look like it's the same color, but there's just more stuff there to look at. Like, there's just texture. Like, it just adds a little bit more just stuff to look at, even though it's just color. It's just, if we're comparing this to watercolor, then it will be like the initial wash that you'll be laying down, you know? It's kind of like that. And if you've looked at any watercolor tutorial or any painting tutorial, like real paint, they will tell you, and it will always be like this. If you're painting and you're adding like an underpainting, you're not painting on full white, just like a white, pure white background, and you're adding an initial wash like with watercolor, then it will be a good idea to follow this rule, which is if you start from the sky, then the sky will be cool colored. Meanwhile, the ground, closer it is towards you, will be warmer. I guess it's just how it works. I don't really know how to explain it. But, I mean, growing up, me just observing things in real life, I've always wondered about how, like, if I were to walk down a really long straight road, I would look at the trees in the distance, and I've always wondered, why do those trees far back in the distance always look blue, and the ones near me always look green? It's one of those things where I never really questioned. But anyway, look at what I just did. You saw that, right? So I won't do it again. And I think it won't really matter if the sketch is messy, because the sketch is supposed to just be a sketch. And it's supposed to be workable, because we're going to be covering everything up anyway. And I was initially planning on using the subtle sketching brush. The name of the brush pack is called Hand Drawing, by the way. It's in my Gumroad. If you would like to download it, just click on the link in the description. But yeah, I was using this one, Happy Pastel. Don't mind Happy Pastel 2 and 3. Those are just like, I made those just to test it out. And I might use the subtle sketching brush, maybe, to color this thing more, maybe, or stick with Happy Pastel anyway. Let's just try it out. Maybe for this very first one I can stick with the subtle sketching brush, and then the second one I can try using the Happy Pastel brush and see which one I prefer. And I'm not using any weird tricks here. I'm just loosely coloring. First of all, I loosely blocked and then I loosely colored. No, first I loosely sketched, and now I'm loosely blocking in. And now I'm loosely coloring. I haven't done environments in a while, and I think it will be a good idea for me to start doing lots of these little sketches. And I'm quite good, at least now, like 2026, I'm quite good at drawing like environments up close, at an angle, especially at perspective. I almost feel like it's a bit of a cheat code for me to draw things in perspective, because it's just easier. Because I'm more used to it, and I find it harder for me to draw things not in perspective, kind of like this, when they're just far away and everything looks like they're the same size, like they're the same perspective, because it's just so far away for the perspective to not really be noticeable. Yeah, I struggle with this. I guess I'm good at adding detail on things up close, but I'm not good at drawing simple things that are far away, or more like, because things are far away, they just inevitably look simple. I'm not good at doing that. What if I changed the roof to like, you know what, let's just keep it that sort of weird green, more saturated and a little darker, maybe over here. It's not dark enough. It doesn't have to be everywhere. And I think making sketches like this is a good idea, because it will allow me to, how do I say this? Since I'm not good at doing this, right? Environments that are far away and not in perspective, I thought I should do lots of these little sketches to just sort of get that problem out of the way. Because if I make lots of tiny sketches like this, things I'm not good at doing, of things that I'm not good at doing, I can just get better that much quicker, because these won't take as long as making a full painting that is HD, you know. And once I get good at doing this, let's just say I would have maybe drawn like 10 of these, and then I think start to attempt to add detail to these things, or maybe just draw bigger, and if I draw bigger I will inevitably add more detail. And I'm not quite concerned about patches of the underpainting still showing through, because at least for me, that is the goal. Because otherwise I wouldn't have made that underpainting. And I don't know about you, but when it comes to digital, for me, things have gotten much easier the moment I started applying traditional theories to drawing digitally. Like the way color is supposed to be used. And complementary colors and cools and warms. I find that I have started improving much faster, and I don't struggle as much if I implement traditional theories. Okay, this is looking quite nice. I might want that fence to be red. I think having a nice red fence will be nice. Because this is quite a monochrome looking painting. And so if I would add like a bright red fence, it will be like a nice what now? I'm not sure. Maybe like a nice thingy to look at, you know, on the side. Kind of like when you're wearing a dark clothes and you have like a bright colored brooch or something. What should I do with the ground now? I might just do something to the sky. Let's add it underneath that layer. Let's pick this color again, but let's go near white. Making the sky little clouds. By making clouds, I am revealing the sky. Or it might be the other way around. What if I darken this? No, I think it should be bright. Okay. This is cool. And what if I go white over here? like that. That looks kind of nice. Another white. No, let's just get rid of that one. This looks nice for now. I think it's okay to merge now. Let's do the background colors. What's the closest thing to blue without going to blue? Maybe it's a green. Because I don't really want to go all the way to blue. Because I think I'd like this to be quite a yellow picture. It's gonna get warmer now. And darker. So it's not dark enough. Okay, this is fine. It's too green. Oh, you know what? I think I can just keep it simple and straight up use just one bright color for this trail. Not a trail. This dust road, maybe? I think you can call it a dust road. I'm not overly worried about not blocking in completely or whatever I'm trying to block in. The background showing is fine. It's just fine. Okay. What if I make these type of zigzag strokes? I guess this is almost cross-hatching. Just keep doing this. And this kind of thing really counts, I think, when you have a plane that is going in a certain direction and you just sort of make these strokes that follow that direction. I think it's a big deal. It really helps add, well, it really helps convince the viewer that the thing you're drawing really is facing that way, and it's a good idea to not really block it in completely. That way all these little gaps that you're leaving behind helps add texture, because plain white looks boring. You need texture to make it look exciting. Like this. This looks nice to look at. You know what it looks like? I think it looks like it's hand-drawn. Like somebody actually drew this instead of like, it won't look as graphic, like graphical, like graphic design-y than if you were to just lay down like a flat block end of just like pure white. This looks way better. It looks organic, like it's hand-drawn with actual pencils. And you don't have to do this with the entire picture, you know, you can just do it with certain areas in the picture. And in this case, for example, it's that one trail right in the foreground where it's in your face. Okay. Nice. Okay. What else should I do? Oh yeah. Let's go with that red and just get darker. Down here. And I think it's time for me to just draw over everything and just try to, as best I can, turn it so that it won't look as much like a drawing and more of a painting without spending too much time on it, because this is supposed to be a sketch. And the lighting is kind of a diffused lighting kind of thing. And this is where I cover up a lot of the sketch, by the way. Like this. And just cover it up. Okay. I'm thinking of these leaves being quite yellow. I don't know if you've tried, but if you haven't, you should. And I think you should try painting leaves using like a yellow ochre instead of a green. Just, if you can, just try your best to paint yellows, like paint greens but using yellows instead. Like if you were to normally use green, just try to use yellow mixed with black and white. Just try it, it will look really good. Like here. Why is it spilling? It shouldn't spill. Okay, it's not spilling anymore. I might want to add. Maybe under that. Try to make it big. That's not dark enough. Still not dark enough. I think they should be okay now. Alpha lock. Okay. It's not looking that Western anymore. It looks kind of Chinese, so I think I'll skip the branches. Okay, let's continue with the paint over. Literally paint over. Because I'm painting over the lines even. And now you can see it looks much tidier. I think I'm going to use like a bold purple. So bold that I'd like to keep it on a separate layer. Because it might not work out. For the shadows underneath these roofs. Okay, now that I've painted in the purple, it's looking kind of scary. Maybe blue will be better. Yeah, it's safer. And alpha lock that and just go darker. Okay. Now let's see what else I can do. I think I can turn these things on the roof kind of black, like they're made of iron. I don't know if that would make it too heavy though. Let's add like a spine on top of this roof. And on this one too. Let's add like a gray. Not too gray though. Because iron is very black, and if you make the highlight white, then it will not look like iron anymore. It will look like steel. There. I think it would be nice for me to somehow separate this. One roof over here in the front. From the one in the back. And there's no other way than to just avoid all of these blacks, the outlines. Just avoid them. And I know it might be like it might be hassle, it might be, I don't know what to call it even. It might be a hard way of doing it, but I like to think, I mean, if I'm painting right now, it doesn't immediately come to mind, you know, the solution, then how long will it take for me to really think of the actual solution? And oftentimes it will lead to me thinking about it for a long time, and instead of actually doing something about it, I'd still be thinking about it. So these days what I like to do is just, like, if the idea doesn't immediately come to mind, then I'll just do it. Because the only thing that comes to mind might just be the solution. And if I don't think about it, if I just do, then from experience, if I were to think about the solution, keep thinking about it, compared to when if I just do, then I would have already came up with the finished painting, finished product, finished painting. If I were to just do without thinking about it too much. Oh, you know what? Something else came to mind here. What a genius idea. So I'll just separate this entire thing without avoiding. Okay, good. And then I'll re-add the blacks. Although I feel like that was a bit too untidy. So I'll fix it. And I think I didn't properly explain what I said earlier. Let me just try to rephrase. So oftentimes, instead of thinking about what the solution should be, it might be a good idea to just do it the hard way, because by then you probably would have finished the painting than if you were to spend time thinking about the actual solution. And that has actually helped me a lot. Finish many paintings without feeling too stressed out. And I think that looks kind of wrong. I think I'll just undo the entire thing. Yeah. I think it might be better to just maybe just do that. Rim light. Yeah. Also here. And here. Maybe boldly add a black. Let's see what happens. It looks nice. Yep, looks cool. Although I did end up with this overlapping outline thing, but I think I'll just erase the outline in the outline layer. Okay, that's a much better solution than what I did before. I don't know what else to add to this actually. I think we're done. Oh, let me just, that blue there, let me do this. Add a bunch of blue everywhere. I feel like that's not thick enough. Will that be better? I don't know. What do you think? Ooh, I know, I forgot something. I should cover up the fence. So instead of seeing too much black, you'll see mostly red. And the one outside is brighter than the one inside, because the one outside will be bleached from too much sun. Support beams over there. Maybe it should be dark though. Yeah, let's keep it dark. Do some few things, few more things here. Okay, and a little brighter towards the top. Wow, looks good. Okay, I think we're done with this one on the left. If I keep going any further than this, it will turn into, well, not a sketch anymore. I think it's time for us to go for the second drawing. Although it looks kind of done, you know. I bet if I turn this into like a multiply layer, it will look good already. Yeah, it looks good. I guess we won't have to do much for this one. I have returned. Although, so this is the next day. And after looking at this sketch that I did the next day, it seems like I think I need to either make the foreground darker or the background lighter. So I think I'm going to make the background a little lighter. Yeah, that's what I'll do. A little brighter. Let's see what this does. And this is kind of like the one trick. Well, not trick, the one outcome that always happens when I'm using, let's say, acrylic. I've never had the opportunity to try oil painting, but I'm going to bet it's going to be very similar. So it's like sometimes I would paint something and then the outcome, like the main focal point, is quite, like I cannot really detach it from the background. And what I would end up doing is painting around, let's just say in this case, the house, which is the focal point. But the paint that I'll be mixing since I've gotten rid of the paint from like the one I used from the day before because it's dried up. Like I have to remix the paint all over again. Now the house sort of looks like it's covered by a glow because the color that I used to paint around it is a little lighter. But it does help detach the focal point from the background. So I think that's what I'm doing now. I want to see if I can make the sky even brighter. What if I go darker here? I wonder what that will do. Let's go with a bigger brush size. Like, I don't know if this is going to work out. This thing I'm doing now. I'm just testing it out. I think it's not looking that good. So I think for my second attempt, I will try to darken the foreground, and this might be a good time to go. Let's try multiply for now. That actually looks kind of better. But I quite like the yellow that I did before, so maybe I can retrieve it. Yeah, like this. Okay. Might want to try overlay. Ooh, that's too bright. Okay, let's go back to multiply. I wonder if I can use any other brush here. I think I'll stick with the subtle sketching brush. I just want to see what will happen if I were to add the striations. Because it might add some implication that the ground is going in this direction. Okay. I think that's fine now. What do you think? This is before, and this is after. I quite like the one before, but with the added glow in the back. Whoa, that's too bright. I think I prefer this. Instead of adding like a multiply layer on top, I think I prefer this. Okay. Let's see what else I can do. Let's add shadows. Let's cover up these blunt looking spikes by painting over it. And also this one. There. Okay, now I think will be a good time for me to move on to the second picture, which I think it looks great already. And as discussed before, I'm going to use the Happy Pastel brush for this one. Because I want to compare which one I like better. The subtle sketching brush for coloring even objects that are far away like this, or the Happy Pastel brush. I'm not sure if I should go bright or dark for this one. Maybe I should just go dark. Choose that color, but go darker. See how this looks. Just making vertical strokes straight down. Although towards the top, I think I can go even darker. Like this. And even darker. It's too dark though. Let's just do a little bit. Okay. Turn off alpha lock. And let's see how this looks if I were to add browns down here. Add a big one too. Boom. Okay, you know what? Instead of going darker as we go up, what if we just go brighter as we go down? And I think I'm going to try making the ground look all red, but like a dark red. Alpha lock. Okay. Do one closer to us. Let's make near black. And the one closer to the tower. Let's make a little brighter. Okay. Let's merge these together. Turn off alpha lock. So far, I'm liking this one more. With the happy pastel brush, I'm liking it more. I think that's too bright there. I'll just do it in a new layer. Turn on alpha lock and then okay. Turn off alpha lock. I think now I'll merge this below. And I'll go super small now. To highlight these bricks or these chunks of stone. Because I think doorways and stone towers in like medieval stone structures they are made of the arches, you know, these doorways. They're quite often covered with stone. And let's see, is this big enough to make bricks? I think so. Oh, yeah. Let's go bigger, because too small and it might look like bricks, but big enough might be passable as stone. And there's really no other way than to just add these stones everywhere. Like when you need to have lots of stones or bricks everywhere, oftentimes, the easiest way of doing it is to actually draw it one by one. Go darker. I think these stones are now quite believable. What do you think? Yeah, I think they're quite believable looking. Nice. It will look even better later though. Let's continue with painting this part, the walls. What if it's just blue? Like blue. Because why not have blue walls? because this is a quite cool looking painting anyway. What I mean by cool is like, it's not warm looking, it's quite cool. It's like cold, cool looking. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Although it could be less saturated, a little brighter. And this down here is like chunks of stone that has either collapsed from a nearby structure or it has, oh, it's just like unused rocks, you know, like rubble, and instead of being moved away, it's just dumped here. Let's make the ground here darker. What else can we do? Because this is looking quite good so far. Maybe we can add some suggested rocks. Oh, I'll do that later, I think. What else I wonder I should do? You know what, let's just paint over everything now. And like I did before with the painting over here, for the leaves, instead of like a green, I'll try doing it with a yellow. It's too big though. Let's go smaller. And for the light post, I wonder if that's bright enough. Maybe. Let's go quite dark down here. And now for the actual light, I think I'll just go with like a ball. And then one more time with a pure white. No, it's quite glowy looking. It's quite nice now. I might be able to add like a gentle blues here and there, like here. It's too thick, too thick. And now for those implied rocks that I was talking about. But the thing about rocks is you cannot really have rocks without shadows, so I think you need now to, I think now you need to add shadows. Like this. And also down here. I think now I can merge this together. Behind the tower though, these things can look darker, I think. These hills. Did you see them? The outline? Before I started doing this? Maybe you didn't, but you'll see it now. And let's go a little brighter, because we're getting closer to the foreground. And lighter again. It's not bright enough. Although I think leaving it that dark will be better. Yeah, I think let's just leave it at that one. That one hill should be enough. And now I think we paint over everything just to fix some stuff like this. I think I'll fix it with the subtle sketching brush because this one's not supposed to change in color. Okay. And now I think I can fix some stuff. But I'm not sure if it's going to turn out good. So I'll do it on a different layer. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to try something. That's like adding some glow to the night sky. It could be anything, this thing I'm doing now. It could be, maybe there's just like a wispy layer of clouds beyond these trees. And what you're seeing now is like the little bits of moonlight shining through. Or it could be peeking through some leaves from these trees in the back. It's like light penetrating through the leaves in the back. Or it could be the moment when the sun's about to rise and the sky gets a little bright, but it's not quite orange yet, it's still cool colored. Could be anything. And these trees in the front, I think I will, just to have a backup, I'll duplicate this and then hide the one beneath so I can retrieve it if I don't like what I do with this blur effect, although I think it's quite nice. Let's see if motion blur is even better. I think motion blur is better. Let's keep it. Yeah, this is looking much better. Now, since it's a nighttime scene, I wonder if I can add like a little bit of fog. Let's do one more. It's going to go over here and then continue behind the tower. Let's just get rid of that spillage. Okay, what if we make this one darker? But alpha lock it. And then add like a greenish. Glow to the fog in the back. And the one in the front, maybe I can darken a little. And then also like a green, yellowish green glow to it. I think this is called, not sure what this is called. It's either hooker's green or sap green. I think this is sap green, this color. Let's see if I like what I do with this now. Motion blur. No. What if I Gaussian blur? Yeah, it looks quite nice. Okay, here's a crazy idea. What if I have both, but I'll erase the blurry one in the back, and I'll erase the sharp one in the front. I'm actually not sure, because it looks quite nice without anything, right? Maybe I'll just keep it that way. Yeah, I think so. Oh well, no mist. No mist today. What if I darken this one though? Yeah, no mist today. Just delete. Delete everything, and one more trick. Maybe I should darken the edges of this tower. I'm not liking the mix of the subtle sketching brush mixed with the happy pastel, so I think I'll go with this happy pastel again. Let's make a selection though. Okay. That's looking quite nice actually. What if I make a duplicate even darker? Before, this is before, this is after. Maybe after looks better, but only if I reinforce these highlights. It actually looks better without the shadows now, but with the reinforced highlights. Just the one on the inside of this doorway though. These trees could be brighter. Okay, I think we're done here. What do you think? So I made 2 sketches. One's using the subtle sketching brush. The other one's using the happy pastel brush. They both look hand-drawn, but the first one looks more like colored pencils, and the second one looks more like pastel. Which one do you like better? I think visually they are both as good, but the ease I feel drawing with both of them, I think the happy pastel one is easier, because he just looks so smooth. This one is a little bit more advanced than the happy pastel one, so I think for me at least, objectively, this is easier to pull off compared to this one, although visually they look just as good. So when I like it both ways, what I would end up doing usually is I keep drawing one way until I get bored, and then I switch. And then once I get bored of drawing it this way, I'll switch to this one again. But thankfully, these 2 drawings, they both look like they're the same style. You know, grainy, dusty looking, charcoal-ish, pastel-ish. And I think I learned quite a lot from doing these 2 drawings. I'm quite satisfied with them. How about you? Hopefully you learned something. Because I sure did. I learned quite a few things. So you don't really need an overly detailed sketch. You don't even need to clean up your sketch, because in the end, all of that sketch will just disappear anyway. No one's gonna see it. And you don't need to be overly tidy when you make art, because when you start being too much of a perfectionist, it stops looking like art and looks more like graphic design. And I think now it looks like a pretty work of art. I really like both of them. Yeah. Okay, let's close this off. If you like what you see, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out all the other videos in my channel, because I do lots of other videos like this. I also do lots of fantasy world building using artwork I make myself and writing that I make myself. I narrate over them myself as well. If you want to see more tutorials, let me know in the comments, or not, or just say hi. That's fine too. I always read and try to reply to every comment. Of course, I speak English, pretty much, nothing else. I speak my own language, but nobody speaks Indonesian in my channel, it seems. If you're from Indonesia, say hi, apa kabar? I guess that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll be seeing you again in the next video. Bye.